Dynasty has looked almost unbeatable during one of their best years ever. It's a full field attack for the boys from San Diego this season, and they are looking better than they have since they dominated the paintball world years ago. There are absolutely no holes in their roster, and they have it in every position. Ryan Greenspan is playing his typical stellar paintball, and Oliver Lang has been a terror as well. Their coach, Rusty Glaze, has had no trouble getting reps for everyone on the roster. They got longtime standout Brandon Short back from the broken hand he had during the beginning of the season, and the rotation of Kyle Spica and Captain Alex Frazier on the Snake side has paid dividends, and their D side is just as strong, with Dalton Vanderbilt leading the charge. Though they lost to Houston Heat in Chicago, they are still the team to beat with 2 wins on the season so far. With 10 wins and 3 world championships, Moscow Red Legion is the most successful PSP team ever, but they've struggled in the first half of the 2013 season. After losing their first attackers on both sides of the field at the end of 2012, Moscow's had a hard time filling those positions with players that attack consistently and efficiently. After getting relegated down to the Challengers Division, they developed a new effective approach, blew the field away, and won every game as they fought their way back into the Champions League. Rookie Kevin Klum, veteran Kirill Pridny, Denis Golev, and last year's Top Gun Award winner Alexander Burnikoff are all playing well this season, and the whole Red Legion squad is looking for redemption at the PSP West Coast Open. Welcome back here to beautiful Riverside, California for the 2013 PSP West Coast Open. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Chris Lasoya and Steve Rabikoff. Here we go. San Diego Dynasty is about to take on Moscow Red Legion in an interesting matchup. Steve, break this one down for me.
Basically, Russian Legion, they're going to have to shoot guys on the break like they did in the previous matches if they have even want to think about beating these guys. And Dynasty's got so much experience, so much talent that it's going to be hard for Russian Legion to overcome these guys right now.
Well, the thing is, Moscow definitely came out this morning and they beat up Vicious bad, 7-1. But Dynasty, they just have so much depth. They have 2 wins this year. They won the first 2 events. They took second to Houston Heat at the last one. They looked phenomenal yesterday, and this is Dynasty's game to lose. Houston Heat, though, Moscow Red Legion, though, they showed me a lot this morning in that Vicious win. And also, you know, yesterday, they looked pretty good. Yeah, beating Houston Heat. And then the game against the Ironman was really close. It was 6-5.
They could be 3-0 right now in the driver's seat.
You know, I think this game's gonna be won or lost on the break.
Absolutely.
Well, I love what I'm seeing from Moscow, because I feel that the guys that they picked up are really starting to gel and become a very competent team. And I think that they could have a shot here. They just have to get out there and actually make it happen. But losing 2 players off the break is not going to help. Dynasty right now putting themselves in a good position, though they do lose Dalton Vanderbilt. So 3 players alive on the field for Moscow Red Legion, 4 for San Diego Dynasty here. First point of this game.
Yeah, and Kirill getting pulled on the break for leaving early. He left just a little tad too early, trying to get a little edge on that spot, getting to the Dorito side, and then Colum getting shot on the break over here on this side by Yosh Rao.
Yeah, like we said, if Moscow is going to win this game, they have to shoot those guys on the break, and they got 1 on the break there, but they didn't really capitalize because they lost 2 on the break there. So if they even have a chance at beating Dynasty, and with Ryan Greenspan out there, like you said, Maddie, the depth on the Dynasty squad is just unbelievable.
They have a lot of depth this season. Their new pickups in Brandon Short, Kyle Spica, and Tyler Harmon and Blake Yarber, all very big contributors. You know, even Blake Yarber's probably the most rookie guy on that squad, and Yarber contributes. When he gets out there, he does work. And on the Snake side, they're so deep with Kyle Spica, number 2 ranked player in the world right now, and also the consummate veteran, one of the best Snake players ever, Alex Frazier, who's in the Snake right now for Dynasty, locking it up, rolling his gun towards the Dorito side. San Diego Dynasty, 4 players alive for them. Moscow Red Legion, 3. Better field position for Dynasty 2. They have more penetration up the center and in the Snake. And then here comes Ryan Greenspan, who gets up to that center 50. And he is going to look down that Dorito side.
Trying to get a shot there on the Russian Legion player, 3-1.
Well, the thing that's really slowing him down is the back corner bunker on the Snake side of the field is hot for Moscow. And that is what's keeping Alex Frazier from getting any sort of aggression rolling over here on this side.
Ryan Greenspan catching 1 in the face. Nice shot over there. Sorry to interrupt you, Matty, but yeah. Ryan Greenspan also now.
Wow. So, Chris.
And another one.
Greenspan and Frazier dying out of their bunkers.
And they lost Yosh. There's a Brandon Short, so it's one player left. Wow, what a turn of events there.
Wow, so Dynasty blows it here in this first point by getting 3 of their veterans shot out of their bunkers within seconds of one another.
You know, and Alex kind of threw his hands up in the air when he was walking up the field there out of the snake. Something happened there. Maybe some miscommunication on the coaching part. I'm not really sure. We'll have to kind of sit back and see what might happen on that. But then 2 other players dying quickly after that as well.
What a great job by Pantalev, who steps up. He shoots Brandon Short and Alex Frazier. And it was Lukashuk who got that shot on Greenspan. So, man, those are guys. If Lukashuk and Pantalev are playing as well as they are, Moscow's got a chance, man. They really do.
Yeah, you know, I think, like I said, this game's going to go back and forth. I didn't expect to see a team like Dynasty go down as quick as they did. I mean, 1, 2, 3, and then all of a sudden, secondary punch right there by the Moscow Red Legion. I mean, they played really well. You can't take anything away from them.
Yeah, they definitely did. So, well, you know, that was a mistake by Dynasty. They threw that point away right there by having 3 guys die out of their bunkers. Oh, man, I don't know. That's not a good way to start out against a resurgent Moscow Red Legion. We're going to be right back after this. Can Dynasty... Getting a look here in Moscow Red Legion's pits as they are getting ready to roll for this next point. They are up 1-0 right now against San Diego Dynasty. So San Diego Dynasty throwing that last one away. Let's see if they can pick it up here. It's a race to 7 points, 20 minutes in regulation. In case you're unsure of how the penalties work, we haven't seen a lot of penalties today. There's only been 1 penalty so far today, which was kind of the opposite of yesterday. So here we go on the breakout. Moscow losing 2 bodies. Both the bodies going out wide on both sides of the fields, coming off early. And here comes San Diego Dynasty. 5 alive for them. Yarber pushing up on that Dorito side of the field, getting in the 40-yard line. Dorito 2. And they have Oliver Lang up in the center. And then Tyler Harmon flying out, getting behind Kyle Spica. So Dynasty looking real solid, spreading the field and shooting players off the break. Let's see if Kirill Peridny, Jason Wheeler, and Alexander Berdnikov can pull this one off here.
I don't think so. Berdnikov just got eliminated, so this one doesn't look so good so far. But hey, last point didn't look so good either. As I say that, they lose Kyle Spica.
Yeah, so Kyle Spica gets shot over here on the snake side of the field. Oliver Lang probing in the center. And here comes Oliver Lang on the run through to take out the last player. Oliver Lang's playing great this event. Actually, all year. Oliver's had a really good year this year. As you know, Oliver's arguably, historically, one of the best players ever, depending on who you talk to, and has had such an amazing career. He's played multiple seasons with the Ironman, won championships, won multiple championships with them, won multiple championships with Dynasty. Let's look in the Dynasty pits here. This game's brought to you by Extreme Pros in Garden Grove.
Great store. Steve out there?
Yeah, Steve
great store.
Steve does a great job. Big
Good
support,
dude.
big supporter of paintball here in the Los Angeles area.
For the touchdown.
Let's listen in.
No, I'm here.
You need to stay on the fucking field. Thank you. All right.
Touchdown, baby. Touchdown.
Great fucking point. Let's
Hey,
the
boost,
time,
huh?
right?
So here we go. All tied up at 1 apiece. Dynasty and Moscow Red Legion. 1-1. 15:37 to go.
You know what you heard Oliver Lang say earlier. Here comes Oliver Lang getting the last kid. He traded out here, but in the process, you know, his players are walking off the field. And what you heard him say was, hey guys, stay on the field, because what happened was All his guys are walking the field in order to conserve time. The Moscow Red Legion hit the buzzer before all the players were out the field, conceding the point.
Yeah.
Now, what would have happened if all the players would have walked out the field? Oliver's the last player alive, gets eliminated, trading out. There's going to be no point because there's nobody there to hang the flag. So pay attention to to field awareness. I mean, I understand their position and getting out the field, getting loaded up again, but that's all Oliver was saying. Stay on the field. I was hit until they blow the horn.
Yeah, because Oliver had to sacrifice himself there at the last one. You see Tyler Harmon right there. That was Oliver yelling at everybody.
That's one of my favorite people right there. I love that kid, Tyler Harmon.
Tyler Harmon is just a ball of positive energy.
Yeah, he is, man.
He's I had the luxury of hanging out with him one time, and amazing person. All those guys are actually pretty amazing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's Glenn Takamoto right there. There's Kyle Spick on your screen, who's had an outstanding year. Glenn Takamoto came up with the Avalanche crew 10 years ago, played for Excessive, and has had a long time on Dynasty here as well. Just one of those guys that you can always count on. It's just a really well-rounded team right now. They have great attackers. They have a good leadership with Rusty Glaze helping guide them, and what a better guy to really try to harness the talent and the drive that exists and keep those guys focused. And when you've been doing it as long as Dynasty has, Dynasty's won over 55 tournaments in their career across the globe, all different styles of paintball. I mean, these guys have played everything. Big games, one-on-ones, pump, everything. 10-man back in the day, and still doing it. So here we go. And then Moscow on the flip side. Moscow is the most successful PSP team in the modern age. 10 wins for them, 10 tournament wins, and 3 world titles, and they're trying to get back there with this new crew that they got. Speaking of new crews, Kevin Klum, the rookie pickup from France, he's been playing great over here on the Snake side for them, Chris.
Yeah, amazing moving the Snake. He goes right all the way to the 50 every time he gets in there if there's nobody in that corner.
It took him a little while to get the wheels underneath him, but the past 2 tournaments, he's played outstanding.
Yeah, he's really turned it on the last couple tournaments, and it's showing that the Russian Legion guys are playing a lot better. And here they are, an opportunity. If they don't get sloppy here, they can possibly get this point here coming up.
And you can see the Dynasty all back line, 4 players alive for them. Only losing Brain is shorting the break by Pantalev. Oh, but here comes a major penalty on the far side of the field. I just saw a red flag go up, and he's going to get pulled out.
Oh, Chris, first major penalty of the day.
Kirill got that.
The red flag demon comes and flies in the air, and it strikes Moscow Red Legion.
And you cannot do that against a team like San Diego Dynasty.
Absolutely not, man. And especially when you got Kevin Klum over here. He's doing great. He's in the 50-yard line Snake. He's shooting guys out, and then boom, Moscow major penalty, and it was on Kirill Peridny.
Right.
Kirill Peridny is one of the long-standing veterans of that team, and not somebody you want to be getting penalties. It sends the wrong message. But so 2 players left alive, Klum and Bernikov.
But with that said, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Steve. With that said, if you want to be in any position right now when you got a major penalty, it's this position. Have the corner on the Dorito side and also have the Snake 50. Because you can effectively shut them down and grind that penalty down, which we haven't seen this weekend so far.
And they're doing that right now, Chris. Good call.
Yeah, absolutely, because Klum is in a really good spot. They have to come get him. No one's in the Snake with him. No one's close to him at all, actually, right now, which means that if you are in that spot, you got a major penalty, well, you're just going to have to suck it up, man. It's not necessarily start going and getting in gunfights, but just try to suck as much time off as possible. Take that mental, just minimize the damage. And if you're going to get shot, make sure somebody comes and puts it on you, because that way it's going to take as much time off the clock as possible.
And see, he messed up right there by switching, looking inside across the field, allowing Ryan Greenspan to drop out to that little Dorito. See him in right there.
And with Ryan doing that, that's going to keep Klum now from shooting across the field there. So that's a good move on Ryan's part. And we've got 30 seconds left on this penalty. So Moscow Red Legion is doing what they're supposed to do on this penalty right now. They're killing that clock, Matty.
Yeah, this is, Chris and Steve, like you guys said, this is what you want to do right here. And how much time we got left on this penalty? It's almost done. This penalty is about 34 seconds away from ticking off the clock. And in Dynasty, though, they weren't even able to capitalize on this, though they have, because it's 3-on-2 right now, and this with Klum here, he's the thorn in the side.
Yep, for sure. I mean, he's almost single-handedly. Oh, now they're back to 3 strength.
Yeah. So
looks like he got clipped though down the wire by Ryan Greenspan, and he did.
Oh, so
wow.
Kirill,
What a great shot.
Yeah, Kirill almost made it out, but just wasn't able to do it.
But effectively grinding down that major penalty.
Yeah, at least they got the penalty off the board.
It's gone. And worst case scenario is if they lose this point, they're down 2-1, and they're not in the penalty box. So.
Back at full strength. So
And now we're getting in a situation, there's a long game point. How many people actually have paint left? You know, you see backs and flaps right there on Klum. He has, I think, 1 pod left. You get down to this point, and it's, you know, you start picking up paints off the ground.
I think Kevin Klum has 2 pods left, so that's a lot of paint to be in that particular spot. But he's going to have to be careful in there. Oh, Ryan Greenspan getting shot trying to get across.
Good job right there by Bernikov getting up to that Dorito.
Oh, but here comes the hammer. And coming streaking down is Dalton Vanderbilt, and he takes out Bernikov. So we got ourselves, it looks like a one-on-one situation right now.
And Yosh Rao actually takes a ball across the field from Klum. Wow. Kevin Klum getting a shot on Yosh Rao.
I thought we were going to get to see a rookie veteran, a one-on-one situation, but no, Kevin Klum. What an awesome point by Klum.
Well played, sir. Well played by both teams. I got to give it to, take my hats off to Moscow Red Legion right now, though. They definitely dug themselves out of that hole they were in.
They got a major penalty, sucked all the time off that penalty, and able to still win the point, and now they're beating San Diego Dynasty 2-1. Again, still a lot of time left, 11:26 on the clock. But man, hang a star over Kevin Klum's name for that particular point. He deserves it. Nice job. And we are going to be back here in just a few moments to see the rest of this match. Don't go anywhere.
PaintballDojo.com. Support your favorite pro teams. Get your name printed on pro team gear. PaintballDojo.com. Lifestyle gear for players. Full color and completely custom options. You can build a custom design straight from our website. Gear available for both men and women. PaintballDojo.com. Lifestyle gear for players. Welcome back, and thank you for accessing awesome paintball gear from RazaLife.com.
Yeah, you know, Raza believes in creating something for absolutely everyone. You can customize any Raza jersey or have your own custom jersey designed just for you.
Wow, Raza sure makes it easy to represent who you are and where you're from with custom jerseys, pants, and much more.
You really can get in on the action and feast on all Raza has to offer by calling right away.
So the story of the year right now is how Raza can really bring out the style your team is looking for. Thanks for checking out RazaLife.com. Come right back after watching this tournament.
I love the Raza commercials.
I love those commercials.
We should just let the talking puppets do the show. What do you guys think?
That's about what Todd looks like up here.
So here we go, man. We got Dynasty taking on Moscow Red Legion, and man, what a great tournament, man. This is a great tournament. There's so much at stake. There's so many storylines out there. We're seeing one of them play out right now. Can Moscow Red Legion have an upset over here against San Diego Dynasty? Dynasty definitely favored coming into this particular match. Ooh, Dynasty shooting some players off the break, Moscow losing 3 bodies, just 2 players alive left for them. And here comes Dynasty on the push. Looks like 5 alive for Dynasty. Blake Yarber, big move down that Dorito side. And Kyle Spica getting into the snake. But all the guns that are left alive turning, and Blake Yarber, which is gonna let Spica just run things over here on the snake side, gets all the way to the 50-yard line and tries to shoot cross field from there. He's backed up by Oliver Lang.
I think that last point made him angry. Here comes Oliver Lang down the highway, backing up Kyle Spica like you said, and here he comes. He likes those dead spots.
Yeah, they're looking good right now, and the aggression is starting to come out for San Diego Dynasty. You can see that this is pretty much their home
here's
crowd.
a penalty on Spica.
Ooh,
No, I'm not sure if that's on Kyle, though. It is on Kyle.
Oh, wow. But still, luckily for Dynasty, Tyler Harmon's still alive to hang that flag. And it looks like it was just a minor. I saw a yellow flag.
Yep.
You guys see
Yeah, it was a minor penalty on Kyle Spica. They blew the horn before he got in the box, so that will be a full 1 minute, even though they won the point. When you get a minor penalty and you win the point, what happens, Maddie?
Well, if you get a minor penalty, you win the point. That 1 minute penalty will stay on. It comes off if you lose. Majors, the 2-minute majors, they stay on the whole time.
That's right. Win, lose, or draw, you're going to keep that major penalty in the box for full 2 minutes.
Well, small mistake here by Kyle Spica. Now, it was only a minor penalty, and those really sometimes don't hurt you at all. They can't really hurt you super bad because you're only going to have them for at the most one game, unless you are just running up points. But then you're winning points anyway, so it's still not hurting you there.
But you're playing the Russian Legion, who
yeah.
are pretty good shooting on the break, and you're down, like you said, throughout the tournament, 20% of your firepower.
Exactly, and it's tied up 2-2 right now. So with this tie game, 10 minutes left, and it looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct on Kyle Spica. So getting a little bit too heated over there, though they played very well at that point. So Dynasty will be starting down 1. We'll be right back after this.
JT First Shot and JT Splatmaster challenges you to introduce someone into our great sport of paintball. We're offering a free Z100 pistol with a purchase of a Z100, Z200, or Z300 JT Splatmaster marker for this weekend only. Place an order, give the Z100 pistol to a friend of yours that doesn't play, and help our sport grow. Visit freez100.com and order today.
That's a great deal, actually.
Yes.
So yeah, if you go to JT's website and you buy one of their Splatmaster markers, you get the pistol for free. Those guns are really fun. So if you have kids,
super fun.
Man, yeah. Actually, the JT First Shot challenge is going on. It's such a good idea. I mean, I wish I had that when I was a kid.
Right.
So we didn't have to use all of the.
I wanted to get one yesterday to come and assassinate Chris yesterday.
Don't you have one at your booth, don't
yeah, I did. He was walking by. I was just going to go right back and blast him in the head.
That's great. They don't hurt, man.
No, they really
taking
don't
off
hurt.
on the break again early.
Oh, he
But gets away with that
wow.
one. Oh, but they lose one guy in the break. Oh, 2 in the break. They're shooting those lanes really good over here, Matty. 3 in the break already.
So, yeah, it looks like. No, I think he's clean in there.
Here it comes.
No, he did come off.
Here it comes, and there goes a red flag. Moscow Red Legion.
That's Kirill. Kirill is just like single-handedly just trying to do work on his team.
Yeah, Kirill Pridney, that's 2 major penalties for him in this game.
And you know what? The ref checked him the first time, and I think he said, hey, you're hit. And then he looked, he realized that center punch, that's a red flag.
You can't have, as a veteran, you can't have your veterans getting 2 major penalties in the first half of a big game like this, especially when you're playing Dynasty as well as they've been playing this season. That is just loading a 10-gauge shotgun and pointing it at your foot. I was going to say 12, but a 10 gauge is a bigger bullet.
Yeah, it does.
So, because, I mean, come on, man. 2 major penalties. You could see Dynasty slap 5s out there as they realize they just got a gift from Kirill Pridney in that point. So they will take this lead here 3-2 with 9 minutes and 28 seconds.
We're still going to have a 4-on-4 game, though, because 8 more seconds left in that minor penalty on Kyle Spica. They won that point, so they're going to be staying in the box with that. 1 minute, 30-second left on the Moscow Red Legion. But let's go down to the 4th member of our broadcast, Lauren Kelly.
I'm down here with Alex Frazier in the Dynasty pit. Alex, you guys were down a body. When you do have a penalty, what's the best strategy to ensure that they don't get a point up on you?
Oh, you want to get to your spots alive for sure and just dig in like ticks and hopefully that penalty runs off. So it's a tough situation to be in, but you got to be tenacious and never give up.
All right, well, they don't ever give up. We have a minute. We'll see who takes this next point.
Still a close game, Matty.
Yes, Chris, definitely a really close game here. But think about this. What if Moscow hadn't got, I mean, I know that last penalty didn't really hurt him too much, but what if they weren't getting penalties? I mean, what if Kirill had either come, well, if he had come, if he had come off, well, we're going to find out how bad, because this is the first time that, okay, you got a legit penalty up there. 2 minutes is going to be on that clock. So now, can Dynasty take advantage? Oh, so it looks like they changed it to a minor penalty.
Oh, so that will come off since they did lose that point. So Moscow Red Legion going to be at 5 strong, Steve, and 4 up for Dynasty. So
yeah,
changing the tides a little bit.
Yeah, so I thought that was going to be a really bad break for Moscow, but ended up not being as bad. Minor penalties significantly less worse than major penalties.
But you know what, Matty? With Moscow, they're just playing solid paintball this whole weekend.
Yeah, they definitely are. Every game they blew out Vicious, played a really close game against Ironman, which they lost by 1. So if they can keep this one close, they're going to have a really great point spread, even if they lose.
Yeah. And like the stats said, Pantalev, this is the best I've seen him play since a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And that's good.
You know, and the one thing about that minor penalty earlier that Kyle Spica got and is unsportsmanlike, the reason they call that penalty is because it's more of a safety thing. They don't want anybody overshooting. He might have put a couple extra balls on him.
You would know that.
Yeah. I mean, I think I invented that rule. But, I mean, it's a safety thing. So that's a good thing that the refs are actually paying attention to that, and they're paying attention to all these players' safety out here because that's safety's first.
Well, everything is so important at this event. So these guys are going to be playing as heated as possible. And, yeah, it's good that the refs check that early, because you don't want to let those guys get carried away and make this into one of those Mexican standoff practice type points where everyone's just blasting each other for fun.
Yeah, we've all done that. Split screen breakout. That was Dynasty on your left, Oliver Lang taking a walk, and also losing another player on the break as well. And then, here comes Tyler Harmon.
Yeah, that was kind of a bad bump from Tyler, but he didn't know. Tyler did not.
Oh, whoa, here goes a penalty on Yarber.
Oh, so Blake Yarber gets a penalty. Tyler did not know that center 50 was hot. And
Get in the box.
He's not getting in the box. Is he going to beat him back?
They're going to race to the box. He dives in. I think Blake made it in time.
I think so too, actually.
And lost his gun at the, hey, we got to sacrifice your body to get in that box.
I think he probably made it in as the flag was hung. They're going to question it. I guarantee it over there. So we'll go get and see what the refs have to say.
Well, that's huge because if Blake, Blake laid out for a reason. If he gets into that box before that flag is hung, the penalty comes off. If he doesn't get into that box, well, then you have to start with that minute penalty. That's huge.
Yeah, and I mean that's gonna be another.
Oh wait,
well,
it was just a minor, so it's gonna So
yeah, but still, he has to get in the box.
Yeah.
He's got to get in the box before he hangs the flag.
So that was a ace. Blake sacrificing his body to try to make that happen. So there's Pantalev walking off. He is playing outstanding for Moscow, really stepping up for them. We'll be right back after this. So looks like that penalty, Yarber sacrificing his body, able to make it into the box. Great play by the rookie Blake Yarber. And here comes Dynasty and Moscow Red Legion. It's all tied up at 3 apiece with 8 minutes and 46 seconds to play. And Dynasty, first one to drop the body.
You know, he didn't just take one ball. It looks like he got shot 3 or 4 times in that far side. You can see that far temple. The top of your screen is empty.
It's Chris Moscow, the first one to push aggressively up the field this point. And now here the bodies, another body dropping for San Diego Dynasty. Ryan Greenspan coming off.
Moscow Red Legion looking pretty good right now, laying in the back of Snake, and Berdnikov getting up there in the center of the field.
Locking down, he's going to lock down that snake side from those guys moving up that snake side.
Well, again, what happened? Advantage, the Moscow was the first team to push forward, and they able to do it well. Ooh, though they're losing a body on that Dorito side. Only 2 players left alive for San Diego Dynasty. It's Yosh Rao and Alex Frazier, and then Alex Frazier is going to get tore up by Malloy.
And there goes that point, Maddie. I just got a call over the radio. I guess Kirill might have thought he broke his left foot or left ankle.
What?
Yeah, I just got that just in from down in the field. I just got a call saying, hey, man, we think Kirill might have broken his left ankle. Man, how hard would that be on this team?
That's the leader of the team right there. The guy's got more experience than anyone on that team right now. That's big.
That's really disappointing to hear. Kirill's such a fixture on Moscow Red Legion over the years, and when you have those veterans, those are the guys that when you're trying to rebuild a team, you really look to both on and off the field to exert that leadership, to be those guys that everyone's looking up to, and to lose Kirill Peridny, that would be a really bad break for Moscow Red Legion. Let's hope that maybe it's just a bad sprain. Or when did that happen? Did you see when that happened?
You know, I'm assuming it happened when he dove in that Dorito and got the penalty, or maybe when he ran to the box. I don't actually know. You know, it's very unfortunate. I hate seeing anybody get hurt. There you see him on the ground right there. You know, just put some tape on it.
Call it. Get back out there.
Yeah, so the trainers,
they'll fix him.
If anybody
fly
can
with
figure
their
it
own
out,
personal trainers.
They do fly with their own personal. They probably have their own doctor. They can probably just re-break it. We'll stick it up. You know, but look at that. I mean, you never like seeing any injuries whatsoever. The first thing you do whenever you do that thing, Maddie or Steve, as you know, ice it. Yeah. Ice it right away so don't blow up like a balloon.
Well, you can see there's Kirill with his stats, season stats for Kirill. Oh, man, that is just a really, his kill to death ratio is real solid, and playing a lot of points for him. As we said, he's the leader of that team, or one of the leaders. Him and Alexander Berdnikov are the longtime veterans, and Really unfortunate turn of events here for Moscow Red Legion, but they are winning right now against San Diego Dynasty. 4-3 is our score with 8 minutes to go. And we're going to be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. This one's real close.
What's up, Ryan Greenspan here.
Hey, this is Kyle Spica.
Go to ansgear.com Dynasty for 10% off all exclusive Dynasty merchandise.
So we are back here. So I guess the information coming from the trainer is it's just a severe sprain for Kirill, which is really good news. However, I've been around a lot of guys that have sprained a lot of ankles, and like Nikki Cuba had a really bad sprained ankle that the doctor actually said, hey, this is so bad, I wish you'd just broken it.
Right.
Because
sprains are a lot.
Yeah, sometimes a sprain can actually be worse than a break, depending on the severity of it. So let's all send our good thoughts to Kirill Pridny and hope that he doesn't have to spend too much time and he'll be able to come back for World Cup.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him
play this tournament still.
I mean, well, again, depending on how bad, but you guys know how bad ankle sprains are. If you have a bad ankle sprain, sometimes you can't even walk on it, let alone try to play the tournament. Crazy little note, Ashton Johnson dislocated his finger, and he just put it back into place, and he's probably going to be playing for Texas Storm here in a little bit. We'll find out when Texas Storm takes the field around 12:45.
Gangster.
So, yeah, right? So, and it was, I mean, dislocated like sideways.
Oh, gosh.
So here we go.
Right now we got Barytnikov and Oliver Lane both mirroring each other in the middle of the field here.
So 7 minutes and 34 on the clock. Looking at on your screen right now, here comes Kyle Spica from San Diego Dynasty all the way to the 50-yard line. Dynasty losing a body on that Dorito side as Blake Yarber comes off early. So Moscow trying to fight. Moscow still with 5 bodies alive. However, they do not have the field position at all compared to San Diego Dynasty. No one in the snake for Moscow Red Legion.
And with Kyle Spica sitting there at the snake 50s, making it hard for Barytnikov to even come out that side. So let's see how long he can survive that.
Yeah, and Oliver Lang is up there in the center, shutting down that snake side of the field. So it's going to be really hard for Moscow to get out on this side over here. It's going to let Kyle Spica go to work. Kyle Spica's got a couple guns on him, though. You can see there's Tyler Harmon right behind Kyle Spica. So Dynasty definitely has the guns rolling. And then finally get a shot. Kyle Spica gets a shot on Pavel Lukashuk. Ooh, is that Glenn Takamoto coming off?
So the Dorito side is wide open now, and the one that's going to hold that lane over there is Oliver. See how long he can hold these guys.
Well, the problem with this right now is it's going to be really tough for Oliver to live in that spot, because I don't think he realizes that his entire Dorito side is blown open. Everyone for Dynasty, though they have good field position, they're all on the snake side of the center. Yeah, and Oliver's going to have to either deal with this or get shot. So Oliver gets shot from that Dorito side, but Kyle Spica has made it all the way onto Moscow's side of the field, and it looks like he comes up right into a ball. So great job by Moscow Red Legion. Runs up, shoots Oliver, then actually dips back and gets a shot on Kyle Spica. I think that was Golev over there. Golev stepping up on the Dorito side for Moscow Red Legion. So initially it looked like it was going to be Dynasty's point. They had taken a timeout. They came out with a good game plan, got good penetration downfield, but just lost too many guys in their bunkers. And so they weren't able to pull it out here as Oliver and Spica were doing everything they possibly could, but they just they didn't have enough for Moscow. So Moscow now up 2 points here over San Diego Dynasty, and Dynasty was favored in this match. So Moscow playing real solid today. We'll be right back after this. So make sure you sign up early for the 2013 PSP World Cup. It's going to be held October 17th through the 20th at the Fantasy of Flight, a little outside of Orlando, Polk City, Florida. Go to pspevents.com and sign up early. Not sure what they're going to cap it at, but 350 to 400 teams is totally possible this year. It's an insane event, man. You got to get I don't know. I talk a lot, but it's tough to find words sometimes to describe how fun World Cup is.
There is no words.
Yeah, it's
just go there, see for yourself.
If paintball's your thing, you got to go. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's. I mean, even if you're not going to play, you just go to experience the whole thing. I mean, best new products out there coming up the next year. Cool people. You got Steve Rabikoff, Matty Marshall, of course me.
Here we go on the breakout. Dynasty's losing one on the break. They lose two, so their snake side is wide open.
So Dynasty getting put up against the wall right now by
3
Moscow.
down.
And now in the snake, as you see going all the way down the snake, just going to work over here. They have two hardcore snake players. Klum just doing work over here right now.
Yeah, Kevin Klum's really stepping up and becoming the efficient one, the first attacker over here for Moscow Red Legion.
That's it for Dynasty. They've lost all five players.
Not looking good for Dynasty right now. Moscow Red Legion coming out strong, looking good all over the field.
They're 1 point away from victory right now.
We talked a little bit earlier. If Moscow is shooting guys on the break like they have been, which they're doing at Dynasty, they'll win this match. And so far, 6-3, it looks like they're in the driver's seat right now. But I wouldn't count out Dynasty just yet.
Yeah, but even with a couple penalties that Moscow's gotten, Dynasty did have a penalty too. Penalties, they ended up not playing too much of a factor. But still, it's just Moscow shooting a little bit better off the break here in the second half of this match. And then they've also been a little bit quicker to the punch and winning those close points. And even if you throw this back to the very first point, which Dynasty looked good, but they had 3 guys die out of their spots, core members. And that's just the type of stuff that, Dynasty looked great the first day. They looked great all year, but Moscow's finding some weaknesses in their line right now.
Yeah, they're shooting regular lanes in the break. They're holding those lanes really well as well. And also taking advantage of G's in the break. They're getting in the snake and just going right down the field. So,
yeah,
beautiful spot.
Yeah, man, this is a great site for a paintball tournament. Such a great sports complex here, A.B. Brown Sports Complex out in Riverside. So can Dynasty fight back with 5 minutes and 31 seconds to go? Moscow 1 point away from taking this victory. We'll be right back. So Moscow sends out Denis Golev, Pavel Lukashuk, Mikhail Kovar, Alexander Biernikov, and Jason Wheeler out to play this last point here potentially if they win it. But Dynasty, they do have time to fight back as Yarber, Takamoto, Spica, Harmon, and Lang are going to try to get it done for the boys in blue from San Diego. Oliver Lang all the way up to the center off the break, going to try to shut down that Dorito side of the field. And it looks like Dynasty, I was going to say, it looked like they kept 5 alive, but they lose 2 players in Blake Yarber and Tyler Harmon. So it's going to be up to Takamoto, Spica, and Lang to try to even this point up here and get a couple kills, but it's going to be tough, man. Moscow, 5 players alive. They don't have to do anything, and here comes the hammer about to drop on Oliver Lang. Beautiful move all the way up the center. Superman dive through the center of that 50-yard line bunker, and it's going to be a major penalty on Oliver Lang, who's going to get some injury to insult, and they are just shooting Oliver Lang off the field. Oliver catches about a dozen bonus balls. Oliver completely covered in paint. And that flag is going to get hung up, so Dynasty trying to go aggressive up that center, but nice counter move by Moscow Red Legion. And Oliver drawing that penalty. Not that it's going to matter because they lose the game anyway. Penalties, major penalties do not carry over into the next match.
But they do affect your overall rating. They're not good.
Yeah, let's look at Oliver Lane walk off. Can we count them? 2, 4, 6, 8. That's about 15, 20 hits. 15 probably. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, and you notice that Oliver didn't flinch much because he's been in a lot of those battles before. So let's look at this awesome replay here. He dives right through the center, able to shoot Oliver Lang, who was the only thorn in the side for Moscow at that particular point. So beautiful move to close it out here from another angle. Kind of, it was like a one-knee slide into a dive. Oliver had no idea it was coming.
I don't know if that's actually a major penalty or not.
Well, I think he got shot in the pack, but it was the fact that he spun around after he was hit. And anytime the ref's right there and you get shot and you spin around, even if it's in your pack, I mean, it's if the ref sees you spin, that's one of those times where it's like, okay, well. But unfortunate turn of events here for San Diego Dynasty. They were definitely favored, I would say even heavily favored, the fact that they've won 2 events and took 2nd place this year in the 3 events that we played so far and looked outstanding doing it. And they've had great prelims too. Moscow, trying to rebuild their squad, actually came up from the Challengers division, which they won at the last event, and looking pretty solid here. Now they are now 2-1.
Right. You know, and they're looking good. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing this tournament progress. You know, I don't know what to say right now. I know Moscow Red Legion did not look like this yesterday, but they sure look good now.
They're 3-1.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3-1. Yeah, so Moscow's 3-1.
And Dynasty's now is 2-1, and Houston Heat are 2-1 going into that last match of the day for both those teams.
So this bracket is getting pretty crazy.
You know, and with that said, you spoke about something earlier. You know, we'll get back to that in a second, Maddie. I think you had something going on.
Well, let's check in with Lauren on the sidelines.
Wheeler from the Russians. That was an amazing match. You guys ended up with a solid lead, winning 7-3. You told me you were going to turn it around. What was the difference?
I think I've said it in the events and the interviews gone past. We're actually playing as a team for once, you know. And we were not a team at the start of the year. We were just 10 individuals shooting our guns and playing paintball. But now we're actually looking after each other, high-fiving, and there's team spirit, which is a massive, massive contribution to winning.
And how do you get that cohesiveness and that chemistry between teammates? Like, what can you do to build that?
Well, I think with us, it's a completely different and unique situation because we have some guys that speak like 2 words of English. I don't speak any Russian. So it's like, you know, you just got to find that mutual understanding that you're a good paintball player, I'm a good paintball player, and we're a good team. And that's where it comes from.
All right, well, congratulations. Next up, we're going to have Vicious versus Iron Men. We'll see who takes that win.
Yeah, so next up, man, Vicious. They are 0-3 so far. They have to win this game to have any chance of not playing in that relegation game to see who gets bumped down to the Challengers Division for World Cup. And the Ironmen, they lost earlier to Heat pretty solidly, so this is a must-win situation to put them in the running. It's a chaotic division, but can't wait to see this game. See you in just a few minutes.